Hey, what's going on, beautiful black people? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I am in Philadelphia. I just got here. Actually took a train up from Baltimore, and we're about to do our event here in Philadelphia in a couple of days. And we're actually having two events. We're doing a film screening on the first day and a lecture on the second. And you know, I was I was thinking about something weird that happened to me in Baltimore the other day. And the Baltimore police don't have a good reputation after the whole Freddie Gray incident. You can't go around just killing people like that. And so, anyway, I was dropping off a friend of mine, Estia Brown, who is the co host with me on Financial Lovemaking. And I walked her to her car and or I walked to my car and then I drove her to her car. And so we were talking business and we were just sitting in the car talking, and I was about to let her go, and 'cause she was going back to New York, and I didn't know what hood I was in, so believe me, we weren't gonna spend a whole lot of time just sitting there chilling. And two cops just rolled up next to us and didn't say nothing. Didn't say anything. Were just rolling up, looking at us. And I remember thinking, okay, can officer, can I help you? And so Tia got out of the car and she, asked the officer, hey, can you watch me to my car, make sure I get there okay? And they were like, uh-huh. And so I just drove away, because I'm like, okay, I don't need no police bullshit. So anyway, I get about 2 or 3 blocks away and I get pulled over. I wasn't speeding. And again, I'm not an attorney, but I don't believe they had any cause to stop me. And the guy, comes up to my car. So I'm sitting there, right? And when the cops pull me over, I'm very polite. My father was a police officer, so I have respect for officers that do their jobs in the right way. And I do believe that there are officers who try their best to do that. I don't believe every cop deserves to die or something crazy. You have people that really just can't appreciate any good thing a cop does until they need a cop, right? And I just, to me, it's like, if you hate all cops, then don't ever call the cops, when somebody's attacking you or whatever. So but I give respect, but at the same time I've been racially profiled many times. So I was sitting here and I just, said, okay, I'm gonna be polite. I was irritated, but I put my hands on the steering wheel so that they would know my hands were not, in the glove compartment or reaching for a gun, nothing like that. And I literally sat there, frozen, hands on the steering wheel, and sat there. Finally, the cop comes around, taking all day, walking all slow, and he walks up and he says, "Sir, you know that Indiana has no record of your license of your car in existence, or your license plate has no record of it." And I said, "Well, that's maybe because it's a rental car." He said, "Well, can I see your rental agreement?" I said, "Absolutely." And let me grab it. And I was looking around for it. I couldn't find it at first. And I almost felt like he kind of was like looking at me like he didn't believe that I had a rental car. And so he just kind of, was sitting there, and I was looking. I finally found it and I handed it to him. And then he just handed it back. And then he just went to his car. And then I just sat there. And I was like, okay, I'm not driving, I'm not moving. And then three cars pulled up, three cop cars pulled up. And I was like, what's going on? Like, why are three cop cars behind me right now? And I'm seeing all these lights, red and blue everywhere. So I couldn't see nothing in the rearview mirror. But, I was waiting for the cop to come back. And then finally, one of the officers came up and said, you can go. And they let me go. But it was just so interesting, and it's sad that, law-abiding citizens have to have complete fear when a cop pulls them over. You don't ever know what a cop's going to do. I went to do a job interview back when I was on the plantation. I did a job interview at Indiana State University, and I remember I was driving in like 2 o'clock in the morning, and this cop pulled me over, and he was like, "What are you doing out this late?" And I said, well, I'm on my way to, and I don't give smart aleck answers or anything. I just, because it's a dark night on a dark road. I'm not trying to have no incidents occur, right? Because it'll be my word against his, and you know who they're gonna believe. So, I was sitting there and I was, and I was answering the cop's questions. I wouldn't give him smart aleck answers. Then he says, so I said, I'm going to a job interview. He said, where are you interviewing at? I said, Indiana State University. He said, what job are you interviewing for? I said, I'm interviewing to be a professor. What kind of professor? Finance professor. Well, where have you taught before? I said, I taught at Syracuse University for a few years. Where'd you go to college? I said, University of Kentucky. He said, what'd you study in college? Like, he just kept, he literally asked me 20 questions, and I just answered them all. I was like, okay, all right, I guess we got to do this. You're the cop, I'm not, so I got to answer your stupid questions. But it really irritated me that this guy was, drilling me like this, and that wasn't the first time I've been pulled over. I've probably been pulled over 5 times with cops who thought I was a drug dealer. 5 times, and I'll just say to white people, like, this is the shit y'all ain't got to go through. Y'all ain't got to go through this shit. So when y'all think that cops are all good and wonderful, it's because cops are there to protect you. Cops are there to protect white people and rich people. They're there to persecute and occupy black people. That's why black people can't stand the police. I mean, not every black person I know. And again, I told you, I respect good cops. I do believe there are good cops out there. I really do. But at the same time, we know we have a corrupt system. We know that the war on drugs caused significant problems, in terms of how police deal with the black community. We know that they know that they can get away with certain things because you're black. They know that when it's your word against theirs, they're always going to win, because every white person wants to believe every damn cop is honest and wonderful and good, and that's bullshit. That's not true. Some of these cops are dirty. Some of these cops are drug dealers themselves. Some of them, do hits. They get paid to do hits and murder people. So we can't sit here and live in this fantasy world. And I think that's one of the reasons why the Republican Party can't gain any traction in the black community. One particular area is law and order. Y'all just think all cops are wonderful, and we don't. So we'll never see eye to eye on this. If you can't somehow speak up when police are brutalizing and murdering unarmed people, then, ain't nothing to talk about. So anyway, that's it. I just had to vent about that because I was just thinking about that. And there's something about it. When you go through something like that, there's something about it that's just so dehumanizing, that you just feel irritated. Like, why did this happen to me? I didn't do anything wrong. And again, I wasn't walking away just angry. I was like, okay, I understand they're trying to do their job, but it's like, why do they always feel that they got to do their job when a black man's around? Do your job with some of these white kids on college campuses who got cocaine and heroin and LSD on campus. Go raid some of their dorm rooms and beat the shit out of some of them so they'll know what it's like. I mean, I'm not advocating for that, but I'm dead serious. I mean, if you really want to go find some dope, go to a college campus on the weekends. Then you're gonna find a whole lot of dope. You're gonna find underage drinking. You probably will find a couple of rapes every weekend. So this idea that criminality just kind of exists amongst black people, that we're the only criminals out here, is nonsense. It's stupid. Anyway, I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to drive to my hotel. Once again, I'm speaking in Philly in a couple of days. You can buy tickets at thedrboycewatkinstour.com. That's thedrboycewatkinstour.com. Also, after Philly, we're I'm going to go up to LA to shoot the film that I told you guys about. And also after that, I'll be in Dallas on the 12th, then Austin on the 13th, and then Houston on the 15th. And then beyond that, we're going to start getting ready for Vegas and New York City. So go to thedrboycewatkinstour.com to buy tickets. And if you don't want to buy tickets for that, that's fine. Go to theblackbusinessschool.com and sign up for free. You can learn how to start a business. So there you go. I'm out of here. Talk to you guys soon. Love you. Peace.